Okay, so Alfie, for some reason that I don't quite understand, the BBC have let me in. I've got a job, baby.
It only took you a million trips to London to know that you're now working in Dorset for the BBC.
Yeah, it's loads of fun. I've been enjoying it immensely. There's a great team over in Dorset, and today was my first on-air shift. Now, you might think that the presenter will take it easy on the new guy, and in fairness, he did. Apart from one segment where the JC, the sort of producer, has to go up against the presenter. And you know that game where you get given a category and you have to name how many answers you reckon you can give, and then whoever bids the highest has to then deliver those answers.
Do it, yeah.
So I had to play that, and you know, you're praying for a topic you're going to know, and guess what I got?
Go on.
Jamaican things. Okay. Now
that's risky for on air on the BBC as
exactly.
well.
I mean, all that came to my mind was Rastamouse, like the Cbeebies show, and I
used to love Rastamouse.
I didn't think they'd accept that answer, so I was like, "Gosh, I'm going to be honest, guys. I'm going to have to give a 2. I really can't think of anything." And then the presenter said 3, and I was like, "No, I'm sorry, I can only go with 2." He said, "No, go 4, go 4." It's like, okay, 4, and then he went 5. So thankfully, I just upped his score essentially, and then he damn well got 5, which was irritating and impressive. But I mean, try and think of a Jamaican thing. I can't.
Did he just list the rats from Rastamouse?
No. He had more nuance than that. He went for rum. He said patties, Jamaican patties. He said Rastafarianism actually was a correct answer.
Just the concept.
Yeah. It was just a really niche topic, and like when you're on the spot, all I could think of was how the flag looked. Like
yeah. President Wensleydale from the Rastamouse.
President Wensleydale.
President Wensleydale.
I can't believe you remember that.
Oh, I think the thing is, I'm too old to have watched it, but Lenny used to watch it, so it's quite embedded in me because they used to ride about on their skateboards and stuff, didn't they?
I don't know why, but my brothers and I would always just start singing it. So me and one of my brothers used to share a bedroom, and we had those beds that had the steps to get up onto it. Sometimes if we woke up early and we were in a silly, goofy mood, we'd just stand up and kind of do this like kind of, the Egyptian sort of dance with our arms and stuff. We'd do that kind of thing and go really slow. And sing the Rastamouse theme song a cappella. I don't know why.
Can you give us a few bars? Do you remember
We just got Rastamouse and Scratchy and Zuma, also known as the Easy Crew. Like that.
The Easy Crew.
Such a niche show.
What a throwback. Hello and welcome to Movie On Up. This is episode 76 with your hosts me, Alfie Walker.
And me, Adam Barlow.
On form on this rather late Wednesday evening. We usually do about a 7 p.m. recording, but we're busy boys and it's now 8:30, so this is a late night special episode.
But it's not going to get sleazy, don't worry. Alfie, what are you wearing? I'm sorry, no, how are you doing?
I've not been great, just work and busy life and stuff. And then I arrived home this afternoon and there was a card on my doorstep. And I open it up and it is a card from Adam Barlow, which was lovely. And the words were very kind. And then a picture of Hugh Laurie as Dr. House fell out, and it made me laugh a lot. When I arrived through the door, it was miserable, and then this picture of Hugh Laurie appeared out of nowhere, and it did give me a cackle. So yeah, appreciate that one, Adam.
That's okay. Did I write the message on the photo in the end? I can't remember.
What, saying, please hang this up in your house? Yes.
Part of me hopes that you get like a really nice frame and put it in the porch. And just every visitor that comes in,
gold frame, and you go,
what's going on here? Then?
Dr. House. I've never even watched House. I don't even know what goes on in that show. I just know we've got this weird in joke where you made me do an impression of a man I don't know. How have you been, Adam Barlow? Obviously, in the intro there, everyone can tell Adam started working at the BBC. But other than that, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm doing good, thank you. I bought a fantastic little Lego set yesterday, if that's of any interest to you or the listeners.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a Porsche 911, I want to say GT2 RS, which is one of my favourite cars, like really my dream car, actually. It's a gorgeous orange colour, and it was about 23 quid, part of the Speed Champions range. I can't wait to build it. I'm saving that for, I don't know, a day when I don't want to listen to a podcast or watch any TV.
Lovely. How about that? One thing about this move was, obviously, yeah, we've moved into the house, and I got all of my stuff down from the loft at my childhood home, and then I had all of my Lego that was being kept at Jacob's dad, and I had all of the Lego that I had with me, and it is now amalgamated into, well, there's 6 crates of just bricks, bashed up bricks, and they are about, I'd say, a good sort of 3 feet high, 2 feet across, and there's 6 crates of that, and then there's just box after box after box of Lego in the living room. Nowhere to put it, so yeah. But it's been nice seeing it all. Hopefully one day I'll build it all up again, but yeah, not this time. I don't think there's any room in this house for that at all.
Is there any set that you've got in your mind that, I don't know if it'll be a big one or maybe just something nice and small to fit on a fireplace or something, but is there any set that you're particularly looking forward to getting up and displaying in your brand new house?
So I got the Jaws one for Christmas.
Yeah, of course.
I did build it at the time, so I'm looking forward to rebuilding that. And then you've got this one, I think, the Jurassic Park set. I'd love to rebuild that. And then there's the Indiana Jones one as well. I would love to have enough room above my work desk to have all 3 of those on display, because they're like 3 Spielberg films, and they're 3 of my favourite films of like all time, and I think they'd look absolutely epic being sat next to each other. I think it would look so cool. And I also bought Barad and the Shire, and I've got them to build as well.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'll make sure to post photos.
You could really build your own map of Middle Earth at this point.
Middle Earth, yeah, literally. But anyway, enough of that. Adam Barlow. This is an Adam Barlow special, to be honest. Adam's got 3 films to review. We're going to chuck a little game in and out there to break it up a bit. But take it away, Adam. What are you reviewing first?
Yeah, so first up on today's agenda is an A24 film. In fact, we've got 2 A24 films this week. But first of all, I want to talk Materialists. So this is a film almost in the same vein as Challengers, where there's a trio of very attractive actors, and they're all pining after each other, basically. Keep that in mind. Keep that premise in mind, because we might come back to that for a little thought exercise later on. But to get into the Materialists, it stars everyone's favourite Pedro Pascal, Chris Evans, and Dakota Johnson. So, pretty nice cast. I'm not going to lie, I'm not the biggest fan of Dakota Johnson, and I can't say this film did her any favours. She is just very flat. I'm sorry, Dakota. It just did not do it for me.
She's on the A-list, mate. She's on the A-list star, isn't she?
Oh, God, did we put her on there? Did we put her on
after Madam Web?
Oh, yeah. We put her towards the bottom. She's above Jared Leto, below Jack Black, and the reasoning was she wouldn't mind. Yeah.
This will be excellent, because when we get to A-list star later, you can adjust her positioning based on her performance in this film, maybe.
Yeah, I don't think she's going to move very far, if at all. But who knows? You've got a whole podcast until we have to think about that, so it could all change. Yeah, so she's in this film, and she plays the lead character, who is a dating assistant. She sets people up as part of this business to date other people in New York. It's a big city. It's the Big Smoke, the Big Apple, to give it its full official title.
The Big Smoky Apple.
The Big Smoky Apple.
Title.
Yeah. Smoked cheddar apple, Applewood cheddar. Other brands are available. And she's making bank. She's getting a lot of money from this business. Clearly there's a lot of loneliness and a lot of desperate people, I guess, in New York looking for love. And the dating scene in the 21st century is a weird one, and that's kind of the main point and thing that gets broken down and discussed in this film. I should have said at the top, this is Celine Song's second film, second directorial turn. She, of course, brought us Past Lives, a magnificent film. I don't know if you saw Past Lives in the end, Alf, but it's well worth a watch. It's very quiet and reflective and human and complex. Fantastic film about lost love and immigration and all sorts of things going on. I just thought it was a really brilliant film, low budget, came out of nowhere, and it kind of blew everyone away. I think it got a few Academy Awards nominations as well. So people were very much looking forward to this next film. It's obviously got a bigger budget. It's got a bigger, more impressive cast, I suppose, to the general audience. But I can't lie, Alf, I was really disappointed with this.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I think, I mentioned Dakota Johnson's flat performance. That's definitely, a big part of why I felt disappointed. I think from a script perspective, it sort of underserves everyone here. I don't think Pedro Pascal is given that much to do. He has a few funny moments, but I don't think they're intentional. Like, you're kind of just laughing at the film and the framing of these shots. It brings up some random scenarios. Some are quite, I don't think it's done in a triggering way, but there is a scene where someone, off camera gets assaulted, and then it's sort of the main discussion point for the rest of the film. And I don't think it's really explored enough to warrant it even really being there. And the reaction that these characters, particularly Dakota Johnson's character, has to this scenario just makes her character feel really quite unlikable and naive that she didn't see this coming. It's obviously a horrible scenario, and I guess it's good that they explored it or tried to, but I don't think they did it in a very thorough way at all. Chris Evans is playing the sort of opposite of Pedro Pascal. Pedro Pascal's character, very wealthy, very charming, kind of the perfect man. In fact, in the film, he's called a unicorn because he sets such high standards that almost ruins everyone else's chances. And there's a moment where Dakota Johnson, Pedro Pascal, they're on a date, and she's saying, "You're handsome, you're rich, you're funny, you're charming, you're everything." And I turned to Tamsin, and I was like, "God, woof." Damn right.
Yeah, Dakota just speaking everyone's minds about Pedro there.
Yeah, she really was. And he's good, bless him, but as I say, not given anywhere near enough stuff to do, and he almost drops out of the film at a certain point, and he just doesn't really develop any further. You don't really see what he's like as a person, which is a shame. And again, compared to Past Lives, it's just night and day. As I was saying though, Chris Evans, he's playing this sort of down and out, living with messy roommates, can't afford to live in New York really. He's a failed actor. You can kind of tell where it's going to go. He's an old flame of Dakota Johnson's character, and you can just tell that, is it the new rich man or is it the old boyfriend that, he's scrappy, he's not got much money, but he loves me. It's that kind of tug of war. It's a bit predictable. I think it makes all the characters just feel a bit one note, a little bit predictable and unlikable in some cases. Chris Evans, bless him, I think probably does the best job here. He actually, annoyingly, did move me in a later scene, but I just didn't think it was deserved. I didn't think the script rightfully put me in that headspace. It was just that he was welling up and really delivering a great monologue. I'm like, Chris Evans, you're a good actor, mate. I think we forget that sometimes. He's great in Knives Out. Does a serviceable job as Captain America.
Yeah, he's been in some not great. So I think people sort of group him as one of the MCU failures almost. But no, you're quite right. He is fairly decent, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a bright spot in this film for sure, to give him credit. I don't even know if I'd recommend seeing it, to be honest. I think it's just such a disappointment, such a step down from Past Lives. I gave it, I think, 3 stars on my Letterboxd, but yeah, I don't think I'd ever rewatch this. Maybe if you like the cast, it might be worth just checking out. It's got, it's very lavishly shot. It's got beautiful sets, and it's all about sort of, set at weddings and functions and posh diners and things like that. That's all fine, but it's very much style over substance for me.
That's quite interesting to say, because I think you summed it up when you said that, like, obviously Past Lives made such an impact and was such like a statement. And yeah, not every film needs to be make such a statement, but even just from you doing the synopsis alone, it sounds like it's just got a lot less to say.
And what it does say is just so confused and almost insulting, because, I mean, I won't spoil, who she ends up with, but it just doesn't really make sense for that character. I think her character is just really unlikable and self-centered. Maybe it does portray a certain type of woman in today's world, and that's fine, I suppose. But I don't think they fleshed out her character arc very well at all. It just sort of happens in from one scene to the next. She's more receptive to one of them, and you don't really get why. It just didn't really make much sense. I thought both of the male characters in here are just kind of used by her, and I don't think she deserved either of them, to be honest, because she just seemed really entitled, and she just sort of floats through back and forth between the two, only using them when it's convenient for her, which is, I don't know, maybe a commentary on dating today, but I don't think that was well explored or well expressed by Celine Song in this film, unfortunately. Now, while I felt disappointed by Materialists, I do think there was potential in this setup. Alfie, you and I both loved Challengers last year, and this film similarly has the leading trio of, hot actors and actresses that are so it right now, I had a conversation the other day with some friends about what leading trio would you like to see in a rom-com. And this is my suggestion, just off the top of my head. I came up with Florence Pugh, obviously, Will Poulter,
yeah, absolutely,
and David Johnson.
Ooh, left field with David Johnson there.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah. What do you think of that? Just initial thoughts.
The moment you said Florence Pugh, I was like, I know the next words out his mouth are going to be Will Poulter, because they are like, I don't know if are they friends, are they dating? I don't know what's going on with them, but they've clearly got something going on, and that's like a Challengers level trio. I think you're quite right there.
Yeah, they're all similar ages. I think in fact, let me check the ages of them. I think they're all within 2 years of each other. But you give me your trio, Alf. I know. Yeah, sorry I've put you on the spot there, but if you could craft a film.
Yeah, I didn't get prepped on this, so.
I find it easy once you've found, just pick an actor to start off with, then find someone that pairs with them, and then maybe we can workshop a third person.
A third person, yeah. I'm thinking big gay rom-com, not going to lie.
Sure.
Just default, automatically, I was going to say Paul Mescal. But then I was thinking, like, who would he go with? But isn't he in a rom-com, well, not a rom-com, but isn't he in a romantic film with Josh O'Connor later this year?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So he's already in one there. And then he was in the one with All of Us Strangers with, what's his name? Andrew
Scott, yeah.
Andrew Scott, yeah. So like he's already in this sort of that kind of mood, I think. He's got those gay films under his radar. So I think I would choose Paul Mescal. But as for the other two,
Paul Mescal. Do you want all male cast here?
Well, that would be greedy, wouldn't it? But
well, let's switch it up. Why not? Let's have a think. Is there anyone who's already stars with? I mean, Pedro Pascal in Gladiator 2.
Right? In those leather sandals.
Or Joseph Quinn, also in Gladiator 2.
Yes, in Gladiator 2.
That might work.
Especially the way he was acting in Fantastic Four, where he's a bit more sort of cheeky and less sort of crazy inbred emperor.
Yes, yeah. He's a bit more boyish, wasn't he? Yeah. Should we go with that? Joseph Quinn,
Paul Mescal, and...
Paul Mescal. We've got to think of, I guess, someone a similar age, or just throw in a Zaddy.
Yeah, could throw in Jeff. You could do Joseph Quinn and Paul Mescal fighting over Zaddy Jeff Goldblum. I think that's the... That would make money.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, that's really good. That's really, really good. Yeah.
Maybe that's the big question for next week, because we don't have one this week. But for next week, let us know who would be in your dream rom-com trio, in the same vein of the Materialists, the same vein as Challengers, the same vein as Lord of the Rings Fellowship of the Ring with Sam, Frodo and Gollum. Who would be your rom-com trio?
That's a great question. Yeah, we'll return to this next week.
Adam Barlow has been on the edge of his seat waiting for this film. From the moment he saw the trailer in the cinema, he was saying how much he's looking forward to this film, how it's got a cute monkey and I think Willem Dafoe. Like, how could you have a better film? And he finally got to see it. Take it away, Adam. How was The Legend of Ochi?
So this is the second A24 film of this episode. It stars Willem Dafoe, as you said, Finn Wolfhard of Stranger Things and other movies, Emily Watson in there, and Helena Zengel playing the lead character called Yuri. She's this young girl who grows up in this very isolated village on the island of Carpathia. Her dad is played by Willem Dafoe, her mum is played by Emily Watson, and then she's got an adoptive brother, Finn Wolfhard. So that's the setup. It's kind of those four characters going around, and the big bad in this film are these creatures called Ochi. Okay, so they're kind of like, how can I best describe them? They're kind of like monkeys mixed with baby Grogu, okay? With
a marketing ploy for sure.
Well, absolutely. I mean, if you look at the poster for this film, there's one here that's particularly adorable, where it's just him with his open mouth, going like, oh, like that. Oh, it's adorable. I want to just smuggle him. He's so cute. So yeah, this is a little baby Ochi, okay, who's just named Ochi for, just for ease, I guess, in the script. But the whole thing is, this village and the island on the whole is absolutely terrified by these creatures. They become much more bigger and a little bit less cute. They're still quite fluffy and approachable. They look like big dogs. But this baby Ochi in particular is very cute. He gets injured in a trap because they go out and hunt them at night. They've been killing livestock and things like this, and just wreaking havoc, spreading fear. And they're kind of treated a bit like, they're not werewolves, but they are treated with a sort of mythological air about them. They are treated as though they're Yeti kind of creatures, like Bigfoot, but they're predators, and they rule this island and petrify all the humans. So they go out in packs. All the young boys from the village get recruited by Willem Dafoe, who is really adamant that he's going to track down any Ochi he sees and kill them. So the film opens with one of those hunts. This baby Ochi gets separated from the mother, and through events in the film gets trapped, and then the young girl finds him, takes him back to the house, and decides, actually, you're quite adorable, and you clearly aren't going to harm me. You're fascinated by my pet, I think, is it pet slugs or pet snails? I can't quite remember. No, pet caterpillars, that's what it is. She's got pet caterpillars in her room, and although that's the sort of natural food of an Ochi, he actually copies her and is very gentle, and it lets the little caterpillar crawl onto his finger in an adorable scene. So adorable, oh my god. And it just looks at it, and like you think, oh my goodness, is it going to eat it? The music's sort of ramping up as though it's a horror film, and then he doesn't. He just like sort of strokes it. I think, oh my goodness, little Ochi, you're after my heart. I mean, marketing just gets me. What can I say? Yeah, so the film then goes on a bit of a buddy cop road trip movie with the young girl and Ochi trying to return him.
It sounds like you're making this up as you're going.
It really does. It really does. I'm sure this is water.
It was alright until you just changed to, then it turns into a buddy cop film.
Not a cop film, but a road trip movie, I should say. And they then have to try and get Ochi back to his parents, right? It's kind of like The Mandalorian. Okay, so along the way, though, you also have a bit of parental issues. The mum and dad sort of fight after after splitting up in the past for reasons that become apparent. The daughter also falls out with both the mum and the dad, and then has to sort of reconnect with them by the end, has to teach, the humans that Ochi are actually adorable, which is obvious because just look at them. And yeah, it's all very sort of cliche and happy, lovey-dovey at the end of it. It's a very tight film. It's an hour and 36 minutes, not an obscene runtime. And it's quite nice. It's quite cute. But I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a bit bored. It doesn't really surprise you at any point. I think in some ways the script feels a little bit lost because there's certain avenues that it goes down that you think, oh, is that going to happen? Is it going to be like that sort of film? And in my mind, although I knew it was a 12A, because it was A24, I was partly expecting it to turn really dark at some point. But of course, this is a family film, albeit with a little bit of grit and a bit of edge. It almost gave me some similar energy to things like Coraline. It gave me that sort of atmosphere because it's a bit gothic at points. I was just kind of expecting a bit more from this film, if I'm honest. Again, I was a little bit disappointed by it. Not to give two disappointed reviews back to back, but I'm afraid it's been a strange week at the cinema. So yeah, The Legend of Ochi, although it looks cute, it looks adorable, it actually is a little bit fluffy, a little bit light. One other thing to mention though, one last thing, is I don't know if you've had this experience, Alf, but for whatever reason, and I've consulted with a couple other people that have seen this film, and they also shared the same experience. This film has an incredibly screechy score. Okay, like it's really loud, violins, strings, very loud, very abrasive. And I kind of put it down to just it being an A24 film. But even though what was happening on screen was very calm and pretty, some of the shots are gorgeous actually, of like dripping, melting ice or rolling landscapes of forests or big mountains. That's all really nice. But the score is so loud. It's like watching Tenet because the sound mixing, I don't even know how to describe it, was almost uncomfortable. I was sat in the recliners, second row back at the Odeon, and it was so utterly loud and screechy in my ears. I actually was covering my ears at points, and it actually, in a way, ruined the film for me, which is a real shame. I don't know. I can't blame the cinema because other people had the same experience at different chains, right?
Yeah.
And at different showtimes, so that can't be an issue. It's
clearly the mix.
I do just think it's the sound
if the dialogue isn't like that, then really interesting that you've that you said as well. Like when you say violins and abrasive and screechy, I picture Weapons that I'm going to go see next week, which is a horror film. But then you saying that there's like zero horror in it, and even you were expecting maybe it to turn a bit dark or like Death of a Unicorn, just something a little bit where it sort of just has an edge to it in a horror sense.
Yeah.
But for you to say it doesn't at all, and yet it's still got this score, really weird.
There's a bit of gross out humour and a point where, I don't think this is a spoiler to say, but there's a point where it almost feels as though it's going to have a bit of werewolf lore in it, because there's a moment where the young girl gets bitten by Ochi, who gets frightened by something, and then she gets an infected arm that looks really gross. Like it starts having pus, and it's really quite grim for a children's film, for a family film. And you almost think, oh, is she going to turn into an Ochi? But that doesn't happen. And I really thought at that point, I kind of sat back. I was like, oh, I didn't know I was watching that kind of film. That's not what I want to see. But thankfully, that doesn't happen.
And I can picture that as well. I can picture her getting bitten, like you said, the arm going all gross and going a bit Cronenberg, having a bit of horror in there, and like her turning into an Ochi. Sounds like we're using it as a verb now or something. She's such an Ochi. And like I can picture the score picking up, and I can picture the intense violins going at it as she's sort of mutating. But no, like it's like that was the idea, and they got the score, and then forgot that's what they were doing with the film, maybe.
Yeah, yeah, maybe that is it. Because I hope this comes onto a streamer, because I need more people to watch this and just help me confirm my thoughts on it. I really was looking forward to this film because the trailer did not have that vibe. It had lovely music and it was really fun and bright and vibrant, and visually the film kind of is that for the most part, but I was just really thrown off and kept at arm's length by the score and by the occasional moments of just oddness, and like it all felt a little bit off kilter and a little bit weird, and not in a fun way. It was just like, oh, I'm not quite sure what we're doing here. It was all very random, and again, not in a surreal fun way.
The thing is, you think how bad it is watching a well mixed Nolan film on your home screen, and now imagine trying to watch Legend of Ochi on your home screen.
Unwatchable.
Well, after two, let's be honest, kind of stinkers there, let's hope that this final review might pick up a bit of pace, a bit of beat. How was Bad Guys 2, Adam?
Yeah, so between the 3 films I'd booked to see this week, you could not have predicted that this would be the film I'd enjoy the most. I'm still a little bit stunned. I watched The Bad Guys, the first film that came out in 2022. I remember going to watch it after a 9 to 5 at uni. I think we had one of the news days. And I went along and I was very sleepy. And I can't lie, I found it a little bit boring at times. I thought the animation was great, but it was definitely a kid's film. And I needed something to keep me engaged, something to, give me something to think about, right? And The Bad Guys 1 didn't really do that for me, unfortunately. I liked it, but needless to say, I fell asleep for about 25 minutes. The Bad Guys 2, though, I was sat nearer the front, I was in the recliners again, and the audience was pretty full, and I had an absolute blast with this film. I couldn't predict it at all. I saw someone review it on Letterboxd, and they said this is a better Mission Impossible film than The Final Reckoning, and that sounds sounds ridiculous. And you know what? I kind of agree, because the voice acting is suave. The animation is really fun and imaginative and creative. It's beautiful to look at. Like, it's got this painterly, not Spider-Verse look, but it's more...
It's got a stylized to it, right?
Yeah,
I can see that from trailers and posters, yeah.
It's a bit like the Puss in Boots, The Last Wish film, because that was also DreamWorks. And I could just tell that the parents that took their kids along and the kids that were, the target audience, were all loving it. I really did laugh about 30 times throughout the film. Like, there was some really good jokes in here, jokes that go over the heads of the adults, just great visual gags. It's got a brilliant understanding of the fluidity and the craziness that you can have when you've got these stylized characters all just doing their thing, keeping to the rules of the world that you've created, but also having fun with it and playing up to the stereotypes of these animals. So you've got Sam Rockwell, an actor that I love, playing Mr. Wolf. He's the main character, sort of narrates a bit of the film as well. He's brilliant, 10 out of 10. Great voice performance from him, no complaints. You've got Danielle Brooks playing Kitty Cat, who I believe is the main villain of the film. Again, does a very good job. You can really feel the rage of that character building up over the course of the runtime. You've got Awkwafina, a little bit of a divisive actress, I think, for some people. She plays Miss Tarantula, but I thought she had some really great one-liners. Say what you want about Awkwafina, she's a little bit overexposed, particularly in the animation sphere, but this was a good turn for her, I will say. She didn't rub me the wrong way. I thought she did a good job here. Anthony Ramos, a actor that I really respect. I think he's great. Hugely talented. He's brilliant in Hamilton and In the Heights and a few other bits as well that I've seen. I do think he is a little bit wasted in these films. He plays Mr. Piranha, who is just the kind of, I would say, the weaker link of the main 5 characters. If you haven't, by the way, if you haven't already know, I sound like I'm going mental this episode.
Literally. It sounds like it's a remake of like Reservoir Dogs, but rather than Mr. Blue, Mr. Pink, it's Mrs. Tarantula and Mr.
Oh man, yeah, that's probably actually what they're going for. That's a great shout, actually. I think it is a spoof, to be fair, of Ocean's 11, Mission Impossible, and yeah, as you say, Reservoir Dogs. That's totally it. It's based off children's books as well, but I think for film, for film inspirations, that's definitely where they're drawing from. And those are films I love. Like, all three of them are great. So this just really hit its stride, and I was there. I was on board. I had a really great time. You've also got Craig Robinson in there playing Mr. Shark. I'll just fly through some of these. You've got Alex Borstein playing the Chief. Is it Chief Luggum, I think? Let's just double check. Something like that. A very butch, manly female police officer who is really funny. I remember she's really kind of irritating in the first film. In this one, though, she's got a bit more of an edge to her. She's a little bit more forgiving and more heartfelt, and it really works. It gave her character, she felt a bit more rounded, which was nice. You've got Mark Moran as Mr. Snake, who is very subversive. Really liked him in this. Zazie Beetz as Diane Foxington. It just keeps going. Richard Iwadi as Professor Rupert. What's his name? I don't know. He's a hamster. What am I doing?
You work for the BBC, and here you are reviewing The Bad Guys too.
Maria Bakalova, who plays Pigtail. Of course she does. She's a brilliant actress, actually. She voiced...
Should we add all of these to the A-list?
Yeah. Just add The Bad Guys on the A-list star, yeah. Maria Bakalova, though, she voiced... not Crypto. Who's the one from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3? Who's the dog in that? Is it Cosmo? Not Cosmo.
Cosmo.
It is Cosmo, yeah. Yeah, she got a real knack for voice acting. Very funny. Very, very funny actress. She's great. Also really liked her in Bodies, Bodies, Bodies as well. A superb little... I think that was A24 as well. Yeah, great actress. One to watch. Catherine Ryan in there. Colin Jost. Yeah, loads of other sort of comedians that you'll recognise if you look through the cast. So it's really good. Really good. Great diverse cast as well, actually. I'm just looking at their photos. It's nice that they've got a huge array of Hollywood talent, from all different levels, different ages, different backgrounds. And they come together for this film that, it's aimed and produced for children. But I had a great time, I've got to say. It kept me engaged. I thought it flew by. It's got an hour and 44 minutes runtime. Really liked it. Had a great time, mate. Really wasn't expecting it.
It's baffling, honestly, that, of all the films that you were... If anything, I thought this would be the weakest. Like, just the lineup alone. How excited you were for Legend of Ochi, and you had Materialists starring Chris Evans and Pedro Pascal, which you're huge fans of.
Yeah.
Just automatically, this would have gone at the bottom of the list. But to say that, no, this was the best out of the three, what a credit to this film, mate.
Yeah, really bizarre. It sounds like I'm pulling your leg. I promise, listeners, I'm not. If you've got time this weekend to see one film, make it The Bad Guys 2. That's all I can say. There we are, listeners. That's probably enough talking from me. To change the pace, Alfie. We've got an email this week from Josh Brooker. You called him out, I think, in the last episode or possibly the week before, saying, "Oi, Josh, haven't heard from you, mate. Get involved if you still listen." And kindly he has. So, we've got an email from Josh Brooker. Do you want to take it away?
Aptly titled, "I'm back from the dead, bitches." I mean, kind souls. Here we go. Dear Reed Richards and Clark Kent. Go on, who's who? This is like being a Jumbo and Pleakley.
Yeah. Reed Richards, Clark Kent. Well, I'm working for the BBC. Surely I'm the renowned journalist.
Journalist, yeah, right. And I'm working for the tax man. So I'm definitely what? Reed Richards? Okay. I begin this email with an apology. I'm very sorry that it's taken this long to write in since my last dissertation. Clearly I'm going for a doctorate at this rate. But I have now been jolted back to life. Where to begin in terms of updating since my last musings? I found Materialists to be disappointing compared to past lives, which for what it's worth I still think is the best film of 2023. That long ago, baffling, wow. I liked Superman and Fantastic Four a lot more than I expected. I have now seen both films twice at the cinema, and I'd be shocked if Herbie's Lullaby didn't make it onto Spotify Wrapped this year.
Yeah, I can vouch for that because I've been playing Fortnite recently, like the 22-year-old man that I am. And Josh Brooke has been jumping on with me. I don't know if you know this, Alf, but I recently bought the Superman skin, the Fantastic Four skin, and Moon Knight as well. So I've got everyone I ever need, really. And Josh, every now and then, will blast Herbie's Lullaby on Spotify down his mic, and I just go like, yeah, horrid.
What's this on? Sorry, Marvel Rivals or on Fortnite?
Yeah, Fortnite.
Right.
I'm not playing Marvel's Rivals. What the heck?
I've got a PS5 now, so maybe
Hey,
I wasn't going to play Fortnite, but maybe I will, just so I can play with you and Josh.
maybe that's a podcast live stream we do. Just that's playing Fortnite. Oh man.
Oh, and of all the reboot revival films and shows that have been sprouting like wild garlic in recent months and years, the new series of King of the Hill is on top of the pile. I don't know what that is. I'll have to give that a Google. But none of those things are what I wanted to write in about. Instead, I wanted to write in about a film that I haven't been able to get off my mind since I saw it a few weeks back, Children of Men. Until the New York Times best films of the 21st century list, I hadn't really heard anything about the film over the years. Indeed, if it wasn't for the Cineworld 25 Years of Unlimited Film season, a rare Cineworld win, I wouldn't have seen it at all. And honestly, I'm glad I did, because honestly, it is one of the greatest films I've ever seen. What is this, Children of Men? Have you seen it, Adam?
No, I think it's got Michael Caine in though.
Perfect timing. The film is set off in the far future of 2027, where, after 18 years of human infertility, society as a whole is on the brink of collapse. Merry old England is effectively a police state where all the immigrants, migrants, refugees are either in prison, deported, or executed. Quite like what's going on now, Adam. One day, Theo, Clive Owen, a former activist, is kidnapped by a refugee rights group led by his estranged wife, Julianne Moore, called the Fishers. Initially, they only require his help to gain transit papers for a refugee woman, but it soon becomes clear that the woman is in fact the first pregnant woman in nearly 2 decades, and that Theo has to try to deliver her safely to a group called the Human Project that intend to cure infertility in society. Among the rest of the cast, there is a young Chiwetel Ejiofor as one of the Fishers, Pam Ferris, aka Miss Trunchbull and Matilda, as a midwife, and of course friend of MOU Michael Caine as Jasper, a friend of Theo's. Given its subject matter, and it's a film that is equal parts bleak and uplifting, incredibly tense and suspenseful, at points also quite dryly funny too. There's a particular sequence during the back half of the film where Theo and a woman plus her baby are trying to navigate Bexhill while the Fishers and British military have broken into total conflict, and I sat there jaw open staring at the screen in shock and awe. I know it's easy to say there's no such thing as a perfect song or scene or film, but I'd be damned if that sequence didn't come close to it in terms of how much it impacted me. And that's why I wanted to write in to talk about it, because this film deserves to be seen by as many people as possible. And if it sounds intriguing or interesting to anyone listening to this in any way, shape or form, it's currently on Now TV, Sky, Prime Video and BBC iPlayer. Go watch it. Hope you're both keeping well, living life to the full and making most of the Pedro summer. Ta-ra for now, Josh Brooker. If one wanted to, how would one go about trying to get a petition to get you both to watch This Is Spinal Tap and the Rocky Horror Picture Show when they both re-release in cinemas in a few weeks? Firstly, on that film, Children of Men, I've never seen it. I think I've heard of it, But Josh's review there alone has made me go, I want to watch that right now.
Yeah, it does sound really good. It sounds a bit like 28 Days meets The Last of Us, which is a pretty killer mix, actually.
Have you ever seen Threads as well, Adam?
No, someone was talking to me, though, about it the other day. Go on, is it in a similar vein?
Yeah, that's what I'm picturing. It's like post-apocalyptic, British, like, it's sort of like a fake documentary, like about nuclear war hitting Britain. And that's sort of the vibe that's giving there with what he said. But I'm really interested in that. I'm going to go and watch it this week/weekend, I think. And the fact Michael's in it is a big plus.
Yeah, I mean, Michael could, God knows what, and I'd watch it.
And then also at the end there, have you ever watched Spinal Tap or Rocky Horror?
Do you know what? No, I haven't. Those are two films that have escaped me. Lewis Eyre mentioned Spinal Tap in his episode a couple of weeks ago, and it sounds interesting. I'm not quite sure what to expect from it, but maybe I should try and check it out. And then the Rocky Horror Picture Show, I'll be honest, I get that mixed up with a couple of other films of the similar vein. I don't know why, because it's not similar to these other ones at all.
Yeah, Rocky Horror is really good. It's really camp. Peak Tim Curry, just sort of really like, it's proper gay as well, which is funny because I don't think Tim Curry was he? That's like cult classic film. Really recommend that. I haven't seen Spinal Tap either. I've heard lots about it, but never watched it. So maybe, I'm trying to think, maybe that's Halloween episode, because they're both sort of spooky films, I believe, or gothic tendencies in them. I think that might be worth a watch, mate. We could watch them on a quiet week, I think.
That's a good shout for sure. Yeah, the Rocky Horror Picture Show, I get it mixed up with Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah, I get that though. Yeah, same vein for sure. Thank you for the email, Josh. Nice to hear from you. You've arisen from your slumber.
Make him sound like the BFG.
That's how he gets to the Isle of Wight. He doesn't have to get a boat. He can just step across the water.
Yeah, oh, that makes sense, yeah.
If you'd like to email in to get in touch, just like Josh Brooker did, please email in. It's hello@moveingup.com. Let us know what you thought of any films you've seen recently. Or, like I said, there's a couple of quiet weeks coming up where we're not too sure what to talk about. So let us know what you think we should be chatting about, some editorial topics.
Yeah, please do. You can also get in touch while we're doing the contacts via our social media, Instagram and TikTok. The handles on both those platforms are @MovieOnUp.
Do you think, Adam? Do you think it's time for? I think it's time for an A-list.
Oh, go on then.
Roll credit.
A-list. A-list star. A-list star in our impressions repertoire.
It does not get any better. No matter how many times you listen to it, it simply is shit.
I was going to say it doesn't get any worse, but...
Yeah, it definitely can.
Yeah. This week, Alf, we are adding a couple of people I think we've mentioned. We've definitely mentioned on the show before. And I actually had to check both of these weren't already on the list, because it feels out of character of us to have missed these.
Almost blasphemous. Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Almost. Who should we start with? TJ or WD?
I think star of Tenable on ITV. Warwick Davis.
Yeah. I don't know why Warwick Davis isn't already on here, because, you know, he's a great British icon. I think there's no other way of putting it, really. I must admit, I haven't seen him in that many films. I've probably clocked more hours of Warwick Davis watching Tenable than anything else.
Can I just stop you and say that every time you say, is he on the list, and I haven't seen him in many films, it is prime for really low bar jokes saying, because he's so small.
Oh, no.
And I had to bite my tongue twice to stop myself saying it.
Alfie, that's so low of you to say.
That's why I didn't. Just raising the issue.
Okay. Well, I'm glad we haven't made those jokes. We've acknowledged that you could have, and we didn't. So, yeah, Warwick Davis. I think he's good. He's good. He's a good character actor. Of course he is. I don't know if we can put him up there with Christopher Nolan. I think he's probably... I don't know why I said that in such a philosophical way. Like, no, of course you can't.
You know, you can't put him up there with Nolan. No, you're right, Adam. We can't put Warwick Davis up there with Christopher Nolan. What have you seen him in? I've seen him in Star Wars. I've seen him in Leprechaun. Willow. Yeah, he plays the titular leprechaun in the Leprechaun movies. He's having a riot, absolute riot in those films. It's a horror film about a leprechaun that's evil and and it just goes around ripping people open and like
goodness.
Yeah, peak.
Dude, there are so many Leprechaun
about 10.
films. What the hell?
Yeah. There's like Leprechaun in the Hood as well, which is like where he goes to gangster and meets the NWA. Like,
this is a side of Hollywood I did not know. This is a dark side of Hollywood I did not know about. Goodness gracious. Yeah, man, we've got Leprechaun from 1993, and then you've got, goodness me, you've got Leprechaun 2 in 94, Leprechaun 3 95, Leprechaun 4 in space 96. 2000 Leprechaun in the Hood, and then you think, oh well, that's it. No 2003, the year I was born, Leprechaun Back to the Hood.
I didn't realise there were 2 Back to the Hood ones. Wow,
that's ridiculous. When's he going to go back again? Surely we need to see Leprechaun.
It's time.
Leprechaun 3 2026 back into the hood again, I guess, guys.
He's a good old actor, but I recommend watching the Leprechaun films, Adam, when you want some background noise.
Background noise. No, mate. I think I'd rather listen to brown noise. Goodness gracious, I did not know that was a corner of his career, but there we are. For that reason, in the clouds, in the heavens here, right? No.
Clinging on
with a leprechaun hat. No. Do you know what, actually? I've got a suggestion here, and you can say no by all means. When I think of Christopher Walken, this is purely, I don't know, I don't have any evidence to back this up. I just think of him as being on the same level somehow as Christopher Walken, and I'll tell you for why. It's not because they've both got names that begins with W, although that might be a factor now I think about it. I think Warwick Davis and Christopher Walken both share the fact that that they're character actors. I think they are both very recognisable, and I think if you saw them on the street, particularly in the UK, I think they'd be similarly at the same level of recognition. Do you know what I mean?
We obviously do this on video, and I can see in real time Adam's thought process happening, where he's trying to think of a reason for why they go together.
I'm really clutching at straws here.
Absolutely, they've both got iconic voices, haven't they? Christopher Walken and Warwick Davis.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean though? Like, I would be equally as excited to see Christopher Walken as I would Warwick Davis.
That's an insane statement, but okay.
But if you compare that to where that sits in the list, you've got Rebel Wilson below, who I wouldn't be excited to see.
Yeah, absolutely. No, yeah, you're quite right. I wouldn't be excited to see Rebel Wilson, but I'd be ecstatic to see Christopher Walken.
And then, bizarrely though, again, this list is deeply, deeply flawed. We've then got Peter Serafinowicz and the Maidley above them, who I'd be ecstatic to meet. So, I mean, that's a real jump in the space of 2 rungs.
I think you're right. I think you've chosen the perfect spot, because if I saw Rebel Wilson, I wouldn't go over to her. But yeah, if I saw Warwick Davis, I'd be straight over there.
Yeah, I agree. So on that note, Warwick, you're with Christopher. Now I've got a good segue. I've got a good segue for this. Don't you worry, Alf. I can see you struggling.
Well, mine was slightly poor taste. I was going to say, speaking of brown noise, Like, we're also going to put Tom Jones on it?
Okay. Tom Jones, helpfully, for the sake of this segment, headlined the final night, I believe, of the Camp Festival in Dorset. Yeah,
Really?
at this weekend as well. The weekend just gone. So that works out perfectly.
Wow.
Yeah. So for that reason, Tom Jones is going on the list.
See, how excited would you be to see Tom Jones on the street?
More excited than meeting Warwick Davis and Christopher Walken, I think.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I absolutely would as well. I'd love. I would love to shout Tom at him, and he just turns around like he pressed his big button on his spinny chair and just goes, "Yeah."
You can see it happening, can't you? You can see it happening. It just writes itself, this stuff. Yeah, he would do that.
Good job.
He would do that. Tom Jones, I think, is a lovely man. I'd like to also call his name, and he'd turn around and say, "Yeah," and I'd say, why, Delilah," and then he'd go, "There's a hole in my bucket." Is that the same song? Did he also sing that song?
That's Tom Jones.
No, it's not.
I think that's Engelbert Humperdinck, I think.
Shit, is it not? Oh no, my reasoning this episode is out the window. Alfie, you take it from here.
Remind me, is the TikTok you made of Tom Jones on the Movie on Up account, or is it on your personal, where you did the impression of it?
No, it's on my personal, I'm afraid.
Okay. Well, I think it's only right that you post that on the Movie on Up later.
What have I done for this punishment to be applicable here? I don't understand.
The thing is with Tom Jones is he's sort of up there with like sort of meme quality, like Richard E. Grant, like Michael Caine. I'd say he's quite high up there.
Yeah, you're probably right. He's very niche, though, isn't he? No, actually, no. He's got longevity. God damn it! Say what you want about Tom Jones, but he's got longevity. I think is he in his 90s or 80s? I
reckon he's definitely late 80s. Yeah.
Let's look him up.
He did a Bond song, for God's sake.
Yeah, that's true. I'll tell you what. If I look him up and he's in his 90s, if he's over 95, he's top 5 just for being that old.
He's not that old. I reckon he's about 83.
85. Yeah.
Oh, close.
Okay, so on that basis that I just set then, completely
Below
absent-mindedly,
Rebel Wilson.
each 5 years he drops 5 places. So he wasn't over 95, that's 5 down. He wasn't over 90, that's another 5 down. He wasn't over
85.
well, he's technically kind of over 85, isn't he? 7th of June. Yeah, it's been a month. All right. Okay. 10 places he drops from the top. Let's see where that places him.
It's like a game show where you just spin the board and go, right, you...
Oh, no. Okay, Tom Jones is scientifically placed between Christopher Nolan and Paul Rudd.
I'd pay to watch that. Yeah, spot on. I think that's... I couldn't have placed him better myself, so well done there.
And then the reasoning why?
Delilah. Oh, spin your jaw like I spin my chair.
Oh, bless him. I love Tom Jones. He's really great, isn't he?
Would love to meet him. Icon.
Is he knighted? He must be. He is, of course.
Yeah, he's Sir Tom Jones.
Of course. And we didn't even say Sir once. Who the heck do we think we are? Sir Tom Jones.
He's a humble knight, though. He's humble.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's a Welshman.
He's a Welshman. He's got class.
Thank you for listening today to episode 76. We hope you enjoyed it. Next week, we're going to be reviewing... Well, I'm going to go see Weapons, the new Zach Krieger film. Incredibly excited for that. And then Adam's going to go catch Freakier Friday, I believe.
Yes. Yeah. And also, next Wednesday, I believe, 2-episode premiere of the new Alien TV show, which has incredible reviews so far, Alf. I think it's 8
Yeah,
episodes.
it's being compared to Andor, right? People are saying it's Andor for the Alien franchise, which is mega exciting.
Yeah.
Is it on Disney Plus?
It is, yes. 2 episodes next Wednesday, and then 1 episode for the following few weeks until 8 in total. Apparently, according to Grace Randolph, a reviewer we both trust and enjoy watching, she said it's bloody brilliant. There's not one dull episode, apparently.
How exciting. That does sound good. Does sound really good.
Yeah, so stay tuned for those 3 reviews next week. As always, thank you for listening. Alfie, thank you for joining me. Any final words?
Why, Delilah?